Good evening, and thank you for joining us on The War Diary. On the 375th day of the war, here are the main highlights of the day at 7 p.m. Beirut time. The exchanges of fire between Hezbollah and Israel have persisted. On Saturday, a drone was launched toward Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's private residence in Caesarea, a coastal city in central Israel. Netanyahu and his wife were not present during the attack, which resulted in no casualties. Israeli strikes across Lebanon showed no respite on Saturday. The Israeli army resumed its strikes in the afternoon in the southern suburbs of Beirut, targeting Har Tahrik with 3 consecutive raids shortly after an evacuation order issued by the Israeli army's Arabic spokesperson Avichai Adra'i on X. One raid occurred near Bahnam Hospital and another near the Lebanese University's Faculty of Sciences. Initial reports indicate no casualties from these strikes. Half an hour later, the Israeli army issued a new evacuation order for residents of Shweifet, particularly in El Umara, which was targeted by 2 attacks, and for those in Burj al-Brajne. In the evening, another strike targeted the Al-Hadath area near the St. Teresa Hospital. A morning raid on a vehicle in the Sahel Alma highway in Jounieh, targeted for the first time, resulted in 2 deaths. The vehicle, a CRV, was registered to Khadija Ahmed Ghazal, originally from Burj Shmele in Tyre. In southern Lebanon, Israeli strikes primarily focused on Khiyam, Kfarkila, Bint Jbel, Nabatieh, Marja Ayoun, Sidon, and Tyre. Adra'i announced the elimination of Nasser Abdel Aziz Rashid, a Hezbollah commander in the Bint Jbel area, on Friday. An airstrike on a building in Jal al-Bahr near the Mashrik Medical Center in Tyre injured 6 people, including 1 in critical condition. Phosphorus bombs caused several fires in Kfar Hamam. In the Bekaa region, on Saturday morning, an Israeli drone struck a residential apartment in the Kataya building in Shtura, killing Ahmed Abu Zaid and injuring his wife and son. The Israeli Air Force targeted a residential apartment in Ba'lul in western Bekaa, killing 4 people, including the mayor of Sohmar, Haidar Shahlo, and injuring several others. In Baalbek, a house was destroyed in Al Khadr, with no casualties reported. On Friday night, Israeli strikes caused significant damage to water, electricity, and infrastructure in Tyre and Bint Jbel, with networks destroyed, roads blocked, and solar-powered projects supplying wells seriously damaged. For its part, Hezbollah intensified its rocket fire against Israel on Saturday, claiming to have targeted the Haifa region and a nearby military base in northern Israel. 5 people were injured by shrapnel in the area, according to Megan David Adam, Israel's equivalent of the Red Cross. According to pan-Arab media outlet Al Hadath, 1 Israeli was killed and at least 12 others were injured in a series of rocket fire from Lebanon. Hezbollah also claimed to have targeted the Malakiya settlement and a gathering of Israeli soldiers at Jal al-Deir, as well as the occupied Golan Heights, Safed, Zarit, Ras Naoura, Shlomi, Haifa, and its northern suburb, Krayot. It's important to recall that the Iranian-backed group announced on Thursday that it had entered a phase of escalation with Israel, now officially in open war. According to the Ministry of Public Health, the death toll since the onset of the war now stands at 2,448 deaths and 11,471 injuries, with 36 killed and 204 wounded in the last 48 hours. In Gaza, an Israeli bombardment resulted in 33 deaths in Jabaliyah, northern Gaza, according to civil defense reports, as the army continued its offensive aimed at crushing Hamas after eliminating its leader, Yahya Sinwar, on Thursday. The Gaza Civil Defense reported that over 400 people have died since the start of the Israeli offensive on the north of the territory in October. The Gaza Ministry of Health reported 42,519 killed and 95,921 injured since the onset of the war. On the diplomatic front, the G7 defense ministers began talks on Saturday amid escalating tensions in the Middle East and increasing pressure on Ukraine, which is preparing to face a new winter of fighting. EU Foreign Minister Joseph Borrell proposed strengthening the mandate of the United Nations Interim Force in Lebanon, UNIFIL. He expressed concern over UNIFIL's inability to act independently, emphasizing the need for a review of its mandate to address rising tensions in the region. Additionally, a close associate of the alleged leader of Al-Qaeda called for the release of Israeli hostages held in Gaza, arguing that keeping them captive harms the Palestinian cause, according to SITE, a private American organization tracking jihadist activity. That concludes today's recap. Join us tomorrow for another overview of the situation. Until then, stay connected on This is Beirut's website and on all our social media platforms.